Of all the great love stories that have ever been written, the Book of Ruth tops them all. You could read about the love of Romeo and Juliet from Shakespeare. You could read about any other princess or prince and their great love story, but they have nothing on the story of Ruth and Boaz. The story starts off very negative in that a woman by the name of Naomi was married to her husband, had two sons, and these two sons, in the time of moving out of Bethlehem to Moab, a foreign city, they married two Moabite women. Ultimately, in the first chapter, we find that Naomi's husband, Naomi's two sons die, and it leaves her now with two daughters-in-law. And we have Orpah and we have Ruth. Naomi hears that there is now bread left in Bethlehem. She's going to go back to Israel where she belonged. Orpah stays, but Ruth declares, Naomi, I will go where you go. I will stay where you stay. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God, and I will die where you die. Naomi and Ruth go back to Israel, and thus begins a new love story for Ruth. A story in which she had lost her husband, a widow, now taking care of her mother-in-law. She serves faithfully in the field of Boaz. And we see the truth that had been set up hundreds of years before with the promise and the law of the Kinsman Redeemer. And this law of the Kinsman Redeemer allows her not only to glean in the field of Boaz, to be protected physically, but now to be loved emotionally. And so as Boaz and her make a plan to come together, this law of the Kinsman Redeemer is a picture of what God does for us. To be the Kinsman Redeemer, you had to be related, you had to be able financially, and you had to be willing to marry. What this looked like for her was salvation. What this looks like for us is even more in Jesus Christ. He became related to us by becoming flesh. He was able to save us and buy us back from sin, and he was willing. He willingly died on the cross for us, thus becoming our kinsman redeemer. Ultimately, to Naomi was born a grandson who would become in the line of David, ultimately in the line of Jesus Christ. We have the gospel in this very short book of Ruth.